Hello everyone, how are you? I hope that you are all doing great. Are you excited now to check your answers for the worksheet? Okay, let's start. Again, I remind you that in this sentence, in this worksheet, we covered the grammar and writing objectives. We covered the simple present tense and the process paragraph. Okay, let's start now with the solution. Grammar part. First exercise, circle the simple present verb that agrees with the subject in each sentence. As you know that in the simple present tense I have two forms of verbs. Verbs related to the singular subject and the verbs related to the plural subjects. Whenever I have a singular subject I have to add s or es to the verb. So we have to pay attention to this rule. Number one, I works at a bank. I is an exception. It follows the rule for the plural verb, so it doesn't take anything with the verb. So we say I work at a bank. Maria is singular. Maria is one girl. So live or lives with her parents. Maria lives. Since it's singular, I have to add as to the verb. Cows. If you notice here, cows is plural. So the verb it should not take anything. So here feed or feeds on grass, we say cows feed. Cows feed. For Artie and her husband, plural subject. I have more than one. Travel or travels to Singapore every summer. Artie and her husband, since it's a plural, so we say travel to Singapore every summer. Martin goes for a walk in the morning. Martin is one, it's singular, so we say Martin goes for a walk in the morning. 6. Ali always hurries to the bus stop. You might say hurries, that's right, hurries. Since Ali is singular, so we have to say hurries. But how must we write hurries? If you notice that the verb hurry ends with a Y and the Y is has a consonant letter before it, so it's preceded with a consonant letter. So whenever the verb ends with Y and preceded with a consonant letter in the simple present tense, I remove the Y, I add I, then es. So the correct verb hurries, hurries, not hurrys. Second exercise, put the verbs in brackets using the correct form of simple present tense. So the verbs in brackets, I have to write them using the correct form of simple present tense. And here, in order to write the verb in the correct form in simple present tense, I have to pay attention to the subject, if it's singular or plural. We sometimes read comic books. Who? We is plural, so I should not add s to the verb, so we say we read comic books. The girls always obey the class rules. The girls, a plural, so the verb stays as it is. We do not add anything to it. Obey the class rules. Janet never wear jeans to school. Janet is singular, so I must add s to the verb, and I notice that here it ends with the consonant R, so I just add s. Wears. Janet never wears jeans to school. It often rain on Sundays. It's singular, so we have to add s to the verb rain, and it ends with and, so we just add s. It rains. You do your homework after school. You, since here we have you, then we know that we have to keep the verb as it is. We say you do your homework after school. In case I had singular subject like Susan does. Since it ends with O, we add ed. We say Susan does. But you do, we do, they do, for example. Pete's sister. Sister, here we're talking about sister, so she's singular. Wash the family car. Wash. Since the subject is singular, so I must add s to the verb. But notice here that the verb ends with sh. So whenever the verb ends with sh, I must add es to the verb. Washes the family car. Simon have 2 rabbits and 5 goldfish. Simon is singular. Have, the verb have. verb to have, with the singular subjects it becomes has, and with the plural subjects it stays have. So here Simon is singular subject, we say Simon has. They, verb to be, Sandy's parents. So the verb to be in the present is am, is, or are. Am for I, is for he, she, it, the singular subjects, and are for the plural subjects, or we, you, they. So here they are Sandy's parents. 9. I, the verb to be, from Vienna, Austria. I am from Vienna, Austria. Number 10, the last one, the student carry the books for the teacher. The student is singular. 1. The verb carries, so I have to add s to the verb. But notice here that it ends with y, and the y is preceded with consonant letter. Then I have to remove the y and add ies. The student carries. C. Change the sentences into negative. So in the simple present tense, whenever we say negative, we mean not. But we cannot write not alone, so I have to use does not or do not. Does not for the singular subjects, do not for the plural subjects. Okay, again I repeat, does not for the singular subjects and do not for the plural subjects. And whenever I use does not or do not in the sentence, I have to remove the s from the verb. My father makes a breakfast. Okay, here the subject is my father. Okay, my father. My father is singular. So singular means it must take does not. So I start with the subject, my father does not. Now I move to the verb. The verb has s, then I have to remove it since does takes the s. My father does not make breakfast. My father does not make breakfast, or doesn't. I write it in the contraction form. 2. They are 11. Here I have the verb to be are, so it's easy. I just add not after the verb to be. So we say they are not 11. They are not. They aren't 11. I just add not. I cannot say they do not are 11. No, we say they are not 11. 3. The bird flies over the high buildings. The bird flies over the high buildings. So here the bird is singular and I have the verb flies. The bird is singular, so we say the bird does not. The verb does not, and I have to remove the es from the verb. And this shows that it was y. The bird does not fly over the high buildings. Does not fly over the high buildings. I speak Italian. I is the subject, and as you know, I takes don't. I don't speak. Here I do not have an s with the verb, so I do not remove anything. I don't speak Italian. I don't speak Italian. 5. Danny phones his father on Sundays. Danny phones his father on Sundays. Danny is the subject, so it is singular. So Danny does not. Danny does not, and the verb has s, so I have to remove it. Danny does not phone his father on Sundays. Complete the question with do or does. Now I have to complete the question with do or does. As you know that if it's a yes no question, I have to start with do or does. If it's a question with WH word, after the WH word I have to use do or does. And also I have to pay attention to the verb. If it's singular it takes does, if it's a plural it takes do. Number 1. She take her dog for a walk in the morning. She is singular, so I must add does. Does she take her dog for a walk in the morning? 2. Your friend Paul. Your friend Paul. Paul is singular. Work in the shop over there. So since it's singular, we say does. Does your friend Paul work in the shop over there? 3. They know the answers to the exam. They is plural, so we have to add do. Do they know the answers to the exam? Number 4. Bill teach math. Bill teach maths. Bill is singular, so we have to use does. Does Bill teach maths? 5. Where? Here I have WH word, and after the WH word I have to use do or does. Where your sister live? Where your sister is one, is singular, so where does your sister live? 6. What time the lessons finish? Lessons is plural, so what time do the lessons? Since it's plural, we say do. If it's one lesson, we say does. So here it's a plural, lessons. What time do the lessons finish? 7. You go to the coast in summer? You here takes do. Do you go to the coast in summer? 8. Why they ask so many questions in class? They is a plural. Why do they ask so many questions in class? Why do they ask? Now change the sentences from affirmative to interrogative. Interrogative, as we said, is questions. Okay? I might form yes no question or a question with WH. Number 1, I ride horses every weekend. So it must be a yes no question. So I have to start with do or does. It depends on the subject. So the subject I here, so I have to use do. Do, after the do I write the subject. Do I, and then I write the verb ride with no SS for sure. So do I ride horses every weekend? Question mark. 2. He brings gifts to his family from the Grand Mall. Since where asks about the place, so I have to cross out the Grand Mall from the question. I have to use the question, form the question using the rest of the words. So where he, since we're talking about he is singular, so we say does. Where does he brings? No, we have to remove the s since I have does. Where does he bring gifts to his family from? Question mark. Where does he, the subject, then bring the verb with no s, then I write the rest of the sentence, gifts to his family from? Question mark. Kim and Kate work every day. When asks about time, so I have to remove every day the time word from the question. When Kim and Kate plural subject, then I have to use do. When do Kim and Kate work? Question mark. When do Kim and Kate work? Question mark. Now I move to the writing part, which is the process paragraph. What must I write in this process paragraph? Organizing your room can help you feel more calm and in control of your own life. So, from this sentence, you know that the process is organizing your room, and for sure we all organize our rooms. In a well-organized process paragraph, mention 4 to 5 steps that help you organize your room easily. You can mention 4, maximum 5. Okay? But first, fill in the organizer briefly, then develop the ideas in a paragraph on the provided lines below. Here in the organizer, I have to mention the steps in brief, just headings. Why? Just to focus on these points, and so I don't get confused while writing the paragraph. Okay? So now let's just think of 5 steps we or I follow to organize my room. Let's see, what do I follow, or what steps I follow to organize my room. Step 1, take out all your belongings. I take out all my belongings. Step 2, I get rid of items I don't need. Get rid of items you don't need. Here I'm writing ideas in brief. Okay, this is the organizer. 3, clean out everything. 4, reorganize the items you kept. 5, add some decorations to the room. Okay, if you notice here that I just mentioned the steps, but in my paragraph I have to write topic sentence, then the details, which are the steps, then a concluding sentence. Let's see how I'm going to develop these ideas in a paragraph. How to organize your room. This is the title, how to organize your room. Since I'm going to tell you how to organize your room, I start with the topic sentence. Organizing your room by following these simple 5 steps can help you feel more calm and in control of your own life. You see, I started with the process, which is organizing your room, and I mentioned how many steps, simple 5 steps. Okay, and I continued with the topic sentence, the idea or the general idea of my paragraph, which can help you feel more calm and in control of your own life. Now I want to start with my steps. You see, I continued beside the topic sentence. First, I used a time word. For sure, I have to use a time order word. First, take out all your belongings from their current location so you can decide what to throw or keep. You see, I developed the sentence. I added more details to the sentence. Second means the second step. Get rid of the items that you don't need or use anymore. After that, this is the third step. Clean out your closet and drawers and wipe down all of the surfaces. Now, this is the fifth step. You can reorganize the items you kept in a way you can easily get what you want without messing up everything. You see, why should I reorganize the items? In order to get everything easily without messing up anything. The last step, add some decorations to your room. I should stop here. No, I can continue. Like what? Let's give examples. Add some decorations to your room, like hanging pictures on the wall or putting a small flower pot near your bed. So you see, I mentioned the 5 steps in a well-organized and developed sentences. To end, now I want to write the concluding sentence. To end, if you want to keep your room clean and organized, do these steps from time to time. You see, I ended my paragraph by giving you an advice. To end, if you want to keep your room clean and organized, do these steps from time to time. Okay guys, we have reached the end of our solution video. I hope that everything now is more clear for you, in case there was something confusing you. And now I think that you can redo the worksheet again, and this way you can master the simple present tense and writing a process paragraph. Stay safe and bye bye.